Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Astros Baseball. This is going to be a great episode because we just took the series from the Texas Rangers, the team that I probably hate the most. It's them or the Yankees or the Dodgers, but I think it's Texas. And we win the silver boot for the 8th year in a row. I kind of thought there was one year we didn't get it, but we are dominating Texas. If it wasn't for the ALCS last year, it would be an unblemished record. And I'm here today with my favorite lady, Stadium Steffi. What's up, friend?
What's up, man? Just man, trying to get through the week. I have a fun little trip upcoming to go watch some baseball in Florida. So, getting prepped for that, which I'm so excited about. Also, if I keep wiping my eyes, y'all, my air condition is now hitting me in the face. It's rough times out here. Rough.
She changed her office, folks. She's
I
got to get
did. I
used to it.
flipped the ADHD hit really bad on Sunday and I said, "I'm going to flip my desk to be against the wall." But now my desk is here and my air conditioned vent is right there and
Mm.
mistakes were made, folks. Mistakes were made.
So, where are you going in Florida? You watching the Marlins or what are you doing?
Yeah, well, we're going to Miami and then we're also going to Tampa Bay. Also, I'm just hitting
Oh,
my desk right now in case you could hear that because I was counting.
I can't hear
But
anything.
yeah, so we are going to Miami. It's my annual girls trip. We do this every year to go watch an Astros series. So we have front row seats to Padres Marlins on Friday, which is going to be amazing. I don't judge me. I'm going to be the biggest fake Padres fan in the world so I can get a baseball.
Ooh.
And then Saturday we're going to the game again and then heading off on the Amtrak to head to Tampa Bay to watch the Astros play the Rays.
You know, the Astros play in San Diego in September.
Yep.
But bad for me, it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't afford to take 3 or 4 days off to go, but my son lives in San Diego now, so that's kind of a bummer, but it would have been cool. But I may, folks, and the people at work are like, "Are you nuts? You haven't been to a game all year?" I said, "I haven't." They're like, "That's crazy." The what is it? What is Steph? August 18th?
18th, yeah.
August 18th, I might be there, and
I
Steffi
love
will
it.
be there, so selfie coming, folks. Selfie is
100%,
is it a
absolutely.
selfie if you take one together?
It still counts.
I don't know what it is.
I'll allow it. As a
Oh,
millennial, I will allow it.
well, we took it ourselves. All right, before we talk about the Rangers, Steph, I mean, like, we had some technical difficulties. I know Wally and Ryan talked about the Rays series, but we didn't get a show actually recorded. But my thought was this: they got rid of every good player they had. They pick up 14 minor league players, and we can't beat them. We can't beat them. We scored 3 runs, 1 run, and 0 ones. We lost 1-0 in game 3. I mean, we could have won the series if we would have scored some runs. I mean, whoever pitched Sunday, I can't remember who it was, but how you feeling about that? We lost to a seller, and that just blows my mind.
I mean, we almost got swept by the A's before that. So the Astros have a knack for losing against teams that they should win against. And it's been a thing since I feel like the dawn of time. Ever since the golden era of Astros baseball has started, for some reason, there is always a series or two every season where it's like, we should be sweeping this, we should be crushing it. And then they just don't. And
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I actually was not there for the game on Sunday. I was planning on it, and then I said, "You know what? I'm gonna exchange my tickets for the Red Sox series and bring a friend instead." Because I was like, I just need a day of relaxation. So instead, I went shopping and rearranged my desk. But crushing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was definitely crazy kind of how that series went. I think it felt like up until yesterday, the team felt very flat. It just felt like the bats weren't doing what they needed to do. It felt like we were losing games that were very winnable, both against the Rays and then obviously the first game against Texas, a very winnable game. And it's situations where like that where when you know you should win, you got to win. And
Yeah.
it's just there's while I hope we make the postseason, I hope we make a huge run, I hope we make it to the ALCS, the World Series, all of that. They've got to find whatever chemistry is lacking right now. And that's just what it feels like. It feels like They have, or maybe their chemistry is a little too hot and they're all up when they're up and they're all down when they're down, you know? Because it feels like it's a very all or nothing kind of situation with the bats right now, where either everyone's hitting or nobody's hitting. And it's super frustrating too when we have so many situations where we've had the bases loaded. I don't even want to know how many times this season where we didn't even get one run across. It feels like every single series, there's at least one or two situations like that. And you gotta make it happen in those key moments. Otherwise, you're not going to stand a chance in the postseason.
No, not at all. You can't leave the bases loaded 3 times a game and win. The thing about the Astros, I do agree with you. They do, and I say it all the time. They play down to their competition and then play up again. I don't know why I was actually shocked. I just thought, hey, they gave away their whole team. We should beat these guys. They're all minor leaguers. But I forgot what I was going to say, and I do that all the time, folks. But oh yeah, watching these last 2 series, maybe not today because I was at work, but it reminded me of a few years ago when we were getting 0 production from 6, 7, 8, 9. And it was like every time we had the bases loaded, here comes a guy that just got called up, Trey Cabbage, just the people you don't want up to bat every time the bases were loaded. And
Every
to
time.
me, I think that's what happened. We just didn't have the right guys up to bat with the bases loaded.
Fair point.
Great point. I like it. I finally made a good point, folks.
I'm proud. Growth.
All right, so game 1 was Hunter Brown, who has turned into a stud, super stud. We led the game off. Alex Bregman has solo home run in the third. His 15th home run of the year. It just seems like 2 weeks ago we only had like 2 or 3. He's turning it on. Tavares tied it up. We go to the 8th inning. It's only 1-1. Pena drove an Altuve, and then Seager had a solo homer in the 8th. We're all tied. We go to extra innings, and this is an example right here. The Astros loaded the bases with no outs, I believe, and they only got 1 run, and it was on a hit by pitch. And then bottom of the 10th, the guy crushes it into right field, and we lose 2-1. That was another example. The Astros did a great job of loading the bases. They just didn't do jack when they had them loaded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely frustrating situations there where, again, you have all the opportunity in the world and you have to get that big hit or get a couple runs across, But it almost feels like too when we get into those situations, the guys are almost pressing a little bit too much. Instead of taking a walk and letting the next guy do his job, it's like everyone almost wants to get that big hit a little too bad. And they're swinging at pitches they know they shouldn't swing at. Again, we got lucky that hit by pitch happened and that we even got into the extras. But I
Yeah.
mean, man, what a rough time and rough way to start the series.
Yeah. So you're talking about pressing. I remember, I don't know if it was game 1 or game 2, but I think we had a runner on third or something. There was like maybe 0 outs or 1 outs. And Alex Bregman was up there like trying to hit it in the third deck. Like, just hit the ball, dude, and get the guy in from third. Like he's trying to do too much. Not all the time, but at that at bat. Like
In that moment, yeah.
just get the guy in.
Makes sense.
All right, so Hunter Brown gave us 6 strong innings, 3 hits and 1 run, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Definitely a Ram Shirts player of the series, pitcher of the series type outing. Abreu didn't allow anything. Presley gave up a home run and had a 7th blown save. There's people hating on Ryan Presley right now. Like, he blows every game. He's only blown 7 games. I mean, I don't really know how bad
Only
that is.
7.
I don't know how bad that is. It doesn't seem good. Him
Oh,
and Hader seem like it's like, you know what? I'm going to make this interesting, folks. I'm going to put traffic on every time they come out.
every time.
Yeah, Hader walked a guy and had 3 strikeouts. Ferguson came in the 10th, the new guy from the Yankees that we got for practically nothing, and he gave up that 2-run homer. He's 1-4. His blown save, number 2. The offense just wasn't there. I mean, Hunter Brown definitely 1,000% pitched good enough to give us a win. So I always say that. This is a game we should have won. Pena went 2 for 4 and drove in 2. Altuve went 1 for 4. He scored twice. And Alex Bregman went 1 for 5 with an RBI, and he scored once. Interesting fact. Those are the only 3 guys that got a hit. You're not gonna win a game, and we only lost by 1. That's what's nuts. And
Yep.
it took extra innings to beat us. We had 3 guys with a hit.
I mean, they didn't have much more. I think they only had, what, 5 hits total against all of our guys? So, I mean, they didn't do much better, which is the
Yeah,
crazy thing.
maybe,
But
yeah.
that 1 hit mattered, so
It did. So the Astros had 3 runs on 4 hits. 1 for 9, folks. This is a killer. 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 11. They left 11 runners on base, folks, and I think most of those are like Trey Cabbage type guys getting struck out with the bases loaded. That's a lot of runners on, but like I said, we did what we had to do, but it just seems like we need Kyle Tucker so the back end of our lineup isn't so bad. I don't know what game it was when Dubon made those 2 great catches. Oh, it was last night, right, against
yeah,
Framber.
I think it was last night, yeah.
Okay, that's what game we're on, folks. Framber Valdez. We can talk about it right now. Good Framber, Bram Framber, great Framber, whatever Framber. We got great Framber.
God, what a day.
Great pitching and even better defense by him, by Dubon, by Bregman. It was an amazing outing.
I mean, it was an all-around great game except for the last out of the 9th, but even then, obviously, I mean, Jordan hitting a ball to the moon again. It was so good to see, and, it's the fact that we somehow finagled Jordan Alvarez from the Dodgers in 2016, insane. It's crazy. And man, could you imagine this lineup without Jordan in it? It's insane.
No, I
I
couldn't.
don't even wanna think about it, to be honest. It's kinda
No,
crazy.
I don't either. But it
But
was
man, the
his
game
21st home run, and he shot it to the moon. It was in the 9th inning when we were already up 2-0. If you want to talk about scoring, Jake drove in the first 2 runs, and he drove in Jeremy Pena, who's
mhm.
getting on base. I think maybe he did a great job in one of the games, like avoiding a double play, laying it out. And they even said that before he even hit it. They're like, it's going to be tough to double up Pena. He's fast. So we're up 4-0. Then we go into the bottom of the 9th, 1 on. I believe it was a walk. 2 outs, no hitter on the line. Who comes up? Our new Astro killer, Seager, hits a 2-run bomb, 4-2. Framber goes out. Hader walked a guy, and then he got the next guy out. Hader, I don't hate on you, Hader, but quit putting guys on base. It's scary. Framber, 8 2/3. He said, Hunter Brown, that was pretty Ram shirts player of the series worthy, but hold my beer. 8 2/3 innings, only 1 hit, 3 walks, 2 runs scored, 5 strikeouts. He's 11-5. How can you have good Framber, bad Framber? And the guy's 11-5 with a 3.46 ERA. Wow.
It's insane. I mean, again, I think there are those games where it is just absolutely insane, and you see him struggle, and you see him maybe get a little in his head. I feel like when he slows down the game, he is just so impressive. I mean, last night, he flirted with his second no-hitter, and, like, most people don't even get one. And Fromber
Yeah.
flirted with the second one all the way until the 9th inning. At the end of the day, as long as we get the win, that's really what matters, and I think he said as much today through, the interpreter and everything talking about the game. At least the team got the win, but god, what an outing by Fromber. I was, literally just I'm so proud of him, and I'm so happy that
Yeah.
even again, when you do have the really bad days of Fromber, I feel like the good ones really have just outweighed that by, like, by so much,
By
and,
11-5.
yeah, by 11-5. But man, I mean, he again, I won't say he's as ace status as we kind of hoped he would be, but he's not far off.
No. And the thing about him is, like, I think this was one of the first times that I noticed that he was loose. He walked a guy and he's like, he's kind of smiling and laughing. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's all right. And he would come
Exactly.
back. he wasn't like he was in the most stressful position a pitcher can be, and he looked loose. He never looked shook.
He did.
He looked really loose, and I don't know what they did to him, but do it again. Do it again. Do it again every time he comes out.
Literally. I mean, he was just I mean, he looked like he was having fun out there.
Yeah.
Even when he was getting some bad calls, he looked like he was having fun.
So Jake, 2 for 4, he drove in 2. Jordan 2 for 5, he drove in 2. Bregman went 2 for 5 and scored a run. Yiner went 2 for 5. Pena went 0 for 4, but he scored twice. I kind of mentioned that. And then DeCenzo gets the call up. Perhaps the future third baseman for the Astros, if they don't do something with Alex Bregman. It's kind of weird to think that they won't do that. But, they just re-signed or just acquired, however you want to put it, Ledmus Diaz, who's doing absolutely zero. And they sent Cabbage back, right? Was that who it was? And people were kind of upset about that. What do you think about that? Maybe I don't think Ledmus Diaz could be sent back. Is maybe that's why.
So I think he may already be out of options because of the terms of his contract, is what I'm assuming. But also, too, I will say Aledmus does give you a little bit more versatility off the bench. If you do need to use him, if somehow, let's say Dubon goes down, he's someone who can take a whole bunch of different positions and
Yeah.
isn't kind of just like, oh, he's just an outfielder. So I mean, even if he's out of options, or if he's not out of options, he does give a lot of versatility in my eyes, to where maybe they find that is something they need right now.
Mhm.
And want to make sure they kind of cover all those bases in case, God forbid, somebody else goes down. I'm literally over here knocking on wood now because we don't
Yeah.
need that.
And also you have a veteran presence on the bench and someone that gets along with Jordan, right? They're
Exactly.
both Cubanos.
Yep.
And that he had 2 home runs. He hadn't hit a home run in a long time.
Yeah.
Credit to Ledmus Diaz, folks.
The Aledmus Diaz effect. We
The
love it.
Ledmus Diaz effect. Crushed them. Let's see. DeCenzo went 0 for 4. The Astros 4 runs on 11 hits. The offensive output was a lot better, but they were 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 on base. 21 runners left on base in the first 2 games. That is horrible.
So crazy.
All right. Game 3. Kikuchi, my boy Kikuchi, who is my new favorite player because my other one got sent packing. I was about to announce Joey Loperfido is my new favorite Astro, and they trade him. So it's Kikuchi. You trade my boy, I'm going to take him. I'm going to take him. So in today's early game, the Astros jumped out to a 5-0 lead after 6 innings. It was 1-0 when Jordan had a home run, his 22nd of the year. Caratini, I'm gonna say your boy Caratini. I know you love Caratini, and who doesn't? 6th home run of the year. Dubon brought in DeCenzo, and Altuve brought in Dubon. We're up 5-0, and in the bottom of the 6th, Texas says they're going to come back, and that makes it 5-3. You go to the 8th inning. This is kind of where I'm at work and I'm looking at it on the computer, like trying to be sneaky. And Alex Bregman drove into Senza, make it 6-3. I'm like, okay, I'm a little more comfortable. But then Jonah Heim drove in to run, and I'm getting a little nervous. But that was it, 6-4. Kikuchi, 5 in the 3rd inning, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. I think he had 11 in his first outing. That's 19 strikeouts for Kikuchi already. He gave up a home run. He's 5-9 with a 4.62 ERA. I want to say yes, he did get the win. I don't think he picked up the
He
win in the
did.
first game. In the first game he did?
No, in the first game, I
He-
think Abreu might have picked up the win.
Yeah, I don't think he left the game with the lead, but yeah, this time he picks up the win, which is great. I mean, I think Kikuchi's not as dominant as Framber, but I think it was a good move. I think he's more valuable to us than Loperfido was. Loperfido's maybe more valuable in the future, but now let's win. We got Bregmans. We still got Tucker. Everybody's still together. And speaking of that, I wanted to bring this up. Remember we talked about JV? He had to throw 140 innings for his contract to be good next year. He's not going to get there.
Mm-mm.
So this could be it for JV with the Astros uniform.
It's going to be interesting at the end of the season to see what happens there. I mean, obviously they could try and extend him a contract. I don't know that they will. I mean, hopefully, I mean, we've been saying this all season though. Hopefully we get some of these guys that were injured back. We have Urquidy, we have, who is it? Christian Javier now injured, Luis Garcia. I mean, so many guys that could kind of come in and fill that role. Obviously, no one as dominant as JV, but also too, I mean, I don't even know who's going to be on the free agent market this upcoming off season, but they're definitely going to have to find someone who's a little bit more of that ace quality pitcher to, I mean, really make sure they continue to give the Astros the opportunity for winning seasons. And I was going to go back on what were you talking about earlier? You said something that made me think of something and now I forgot. So you're rubbing off on me.
About the trade?
Ah, that's what it was. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I think with the trade, at first I was definitely real sad because of the Loperfido situation. I'm a huge fan of his. I've been a fan of his since he was in Corpus because I got to watch him there a few times. And my dad was a huge, I know he's going to be good kind of guy. And so, seeing him go down definitely was sad, or get traded was sad. But, the more I thought about it, I was like, first of all, I do feel like we gave up a lot for Kikuchi. That's, I think, what stung the most was how much we gave up. I think even giving 2 of the 3 I feel like should have sufficed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not a general manager. I don't know how to make those decisions. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But in my head, I felt like, Kikuchi hasn't been doing well with the Blue Jays, but the Astros have a knack for finding that one pitch that they are like, I feel like we could toy with that a little bit. I feel like we could tweak him, get him to use this pitch a little bit more than that pitch. And I can't remember which one it was that he was saying Bregman and someone else were telling him to throw more often. And that's what he did in that first game, and obviously had an incredible outing. And so, after a little bit of thought and after a little bit of calming down from the I'm sad that Joey Loperfido is gone kind of vibes, it was a lot more of like, okay, they must see something that they think that they can either fix or can encourage him to use more often that's going to make him successful. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given up this much. And in his first 2 games, it's proving to be that way at this point. And I hope it continues. I hope he continues to show people that he was worth those 3 guys. But I'm always going to be a Joey Loperfido fan. Actually, the other day, one of my friends was at Yankee Stadium watching them play the Blue Jays, and I told him I needed Loperfido content, so he sent me a video of Loperfido in the outfield.
The Astros in the last 6 games were 3-3, right? 2-1 and 1-2, and 2 of the 3 games they won were started by Kikuchi. So give him credit or not, folks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but whether he got the win or not, we won those 2 games. So hopefully, like, if Kikuchi keeps doing well, and they maybe, I don't know how expensive he is, they could re-sign him, and you would have him.
Yeah.
Ronel Blanco, Framber Valdez,
well,
Lance
Framber, isn't he a free
Jr. Is he?
I could have sworn he's a free agent after this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, maybe not. I forgot what I was going to say. That's the name of the show, folks. We forgot what we were going to say. But anyway,
we're actually renaming the show after today. It's part of the bit.
I was talking about the pitchers. And then like
We
Lance
did talk about the
McCullers
3
isn't
for
coming
3,
back,
Lance
but
McCullers,
maybe he'll
yeah.
be back, right?
Could be.
McCullers, yeah. So anyway, let's look at the offense real quick. Oh, yeah, pitching. Scott gave up a run. Abreu, an inning and a third. Good job by Abreu. Presley gave up a run. Hader, a strikeout. Save him or 24. Hader's going to get to 30. Bregman went 2 for 5. Diaz went 3 for 5. Caratini, 2 for 4. DeCenzo, 2 for 3 with a walk, and he scored twice. That's a big turnaround from 0-4 in game 1.
Oh, yeah. He looked a lot more comfortable today, which was exciting to see for sure. And I will say on the Lance McCullers thing, I feel like at this point, he's just our Snuffleupagus. He is our imaginary friend. We see him, but no one else does, Yeah. I hope not, though. I hope he's a real friend and he comes back. But yeah, I mean, it'd be great if he could finally come back from injury, because obviously he was doing solid before injuries hit.
He's good. He's just made of Paper
Glass.
mache. Yeah, made of glass.
Paper mache.
Which one's? I think paper mache is
It's
weaker.
just like a pinata.
Yeah. So DeCenzo 2 for 3 with a walk. Dubon went 2 for 4. Altuve 1 for 4. Alvarez 1 for 3. Drove in a run and walked. Dubon 2 for 4. 6 runs on 13 hits. The Astros turned it on today. But they scored 6 runs on 13 hits, Steffi. But listen to this. 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position. They left 10 on base. That is 31 runners left on base for your Houston Astros, folks. And they won the freaking series.
Crushing it.
What? What?
Baseball's weird, man. It's weird. I don't even know what to
Totally
say anymore.
Well, it's about that time, folks, for us to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to give you our Ram shirts, players of the series. And I am wearing a Ram shirt. I saw this shirt and I wanted it because it sounded like the podcast, and I love it.
It does.
Ram shirts are the greatest shirts ever. And I'll tell
They
you
are
this.
phenomenal.
They're soft and comfortable, but they're long. They're not like
Ooh.
Old Navy shirts are short, but they're nice and long. I love them. And they're soft. I love them. And it's not just because he's my friend and a sponsor and he gives shirts away to the listeners. The shirts are awesome. Go get one. Go get one. All right, we'll be right back, folks, with more Astros baseball. We're back with more Astros baseball. Rob Fontenot, Stadium Steffi. It is time for the Ram shirts. Players of the series. I think we're going to both get the same pitcher. I think we're going to get 2 out of 3. I like predicting it. 2 out of 3. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 2 out of 3. Let's start with pitcher. I got Framber.
How is it not Framber? How is it not?
That's the given. Framber's a given.
If Framber is just like you again, you have to.
Yeah.
You do.
All right. Let's position player. It's the same as the last episode that I did. It's like I watch the games and I'm like, all right, well, this guy's the player of the series. But then you look at everything, you're like, maybe he wasn't. But I have Alex Bregman.
See, I feel like I want to go Jordan specifically because of the big hit yesterday. You know, had he not gotten that huge home run, and he's finally looking a little bit more awake at the plate. So even though he might not have had the best series out of everybody, I feel like he got the big hit when we really needed it, when we really needed that spark. So for me, I'm going to go Jordan, I think.
Yeah, that's who I was going to pick. And I was like, he didn't do anything in game 1.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my deciding factor because it's
respect
player
it.
of the series, but Jordan is an awesome pick because I was going to pick him. I really was. And the Coach Rose winner, if we would have both picked Jordan, I kind of think we're going to have the same guy. I got DeCenzo.
Yeah.
Right? 2 for 3 with a walk, and he scored twice. He went 2 for 7.
I do almost kind of want to go Kikuchi too, though, because I mean,
oh my God, I forgot about him.
Because everyone was, I mean, again, he's not a position player, so you do kind of forget him about a little bit.
Yeah,
but you know, I think when we got him, when we got him, everyone was obviously upset because of what we gave away.
Yeah,
people were like, "Look at his ERA," and then he comes in and has a dominant first game, and obviously, not factoring that into it, but to have 2 very dominant outings, to put the team in a position to win in both of his first starts, to strike guys out the way he is and eat up innings, which is exactly what they got him for.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, because I think I don't know what to expect from him yet, it's like I almost want to go with him, but I also like obviously having 2 new guys as the Coach Rose. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one.
No. I kind of wish one of us would have picked him.
Well,
but he got a lot of love this show. He did get a lot of love.
He did get a lot of love. Well deserved.
And man, who did I say my favorite player was? Kikuchi, right? He's got a new biggest fan ever. So Kikuchi's the real winner of the podcast.
I'm going to try and get a picture with him in Tampa Bay. I'm determined.
You should. All right, next we're going to do the standings because I've already did the Ram Shirts player of the series. I love Ram Shirts, by the way, folks. The Astros are still in first place. I didn't even change this. It's said it the last 4 podcasts. They are 59-55. The Seattle Mariners are 59-55, and the Rangers are 5.5 games back. Now, I am going to have to look it up because they were playing. Let's see if Seattle's like losing 30-0 or something.
They haven't started yet. They're
They
still
pl-
doing warm-ups right now.
okay, so we
So they
could
probably
be
have a
half a
9
game
o'clock
back,
game.
or we could be half a game ahead. Who knows?
Mhm.
But I'll take it. To get beat by a team who gave up their whole team and got 14 rookies, and barely, I don't know. I think I like it. Next up is Boston, the Red Sox. Have you
I
seen
love
that
it.
TikTok where the guy has the girlfriend with the big strong accent? Cara,
They're my favorite. I love them so
go to the
much.
car.
Papa.
Cara, I like it. All right,
She's so cute. I love her so much.
we go to Boston, and I mean, I don't know where Wally gets all of this, but all the pitching matchups are to be determined. 6:10, 6:10, and then 12:30 in
Mhm.
Boston. So if you got a lot of money, go to Boston, folks, and go watch it.
It's a fun time. I love Boston. I love Fenway. It's a beautiful ballpark. Just it's pure baseball and it's amazing.
Well, I love it. Well, let's do some final thoughts.
My final thoughts are that I'm very excited to get out and watch the Astros play on the road, and let's hope we get some wins out in Tampa Bay.
It's going to be
St. Pete,
awesome.
but Tampa Bay, whatever.
I mean, I look forward to the day that Tampa Bay gets a new stadium. That stadium's
Yeah.
it's pretty horrible.
Gonna get to see it in its full glory. We'll call it
Oh
glory.
my goodness.
We'll call it glory.
Wow.
Oh, man.
My final thought is this, folks. And Steffi touched on it. And I didn't have a final thought, but I just have it now. Give Kikuchi some credit, folks. All of you that badmouthed him, just bow your head and say, Kikuchi, I am so sorry.
I love
I'm
it.
so very sorry. And I love Kikuchi. I hope he sticks. I hope they find a way to sign him next year. Hopefully he's happy. He's going to be on a winning team. Like, who would want to give that up? I don't
Mhm.
know. But anyway, we do appreciate you guys for tuning in. It was a lot of fun. Always fun being with my girl,
Always
Steph.
a blast.
And we realized before the show that we are getting to be better friends and we are weird together. So
He got to see the weird vibes today. Friendship is really just elevating.
yeah, it's just going to get worse on the show, I think, folks. But
100%. Can't
we'll try
wait.
to be serious. We hope you enjoyed everything we shared today. Astros 8 years in a row, folks. The silver boot is ours. The Texas Rangers ain't even going to make the playoffs. I made the video on
Oh,
TikTok that they're one and done.
can't wait.
Bye-bye. You're not going to stick around like us. Nobody is stuck around. Anyone that's knocked us out of the playoffs, they're not around anymore.
Mhm.
None of them.
It's crazy.
Maybe the Braves. I don't know. But none of them's around. None of them.
It's
We're
true.
around. Don't give up, folks. I know our offense sucks, but that's the way it goes. Pitching's great. Offense sucks. They just take turns, but let's get it together. A great August. We'll see what happens. We'll see you next time on Astros Baseball.